Alrighty. So our theme this week, we got a really good theme. It's gonna make so many changes in your life. The theme this week is, are you willing and ready to see things differently? Like just see things differently. And I mean everything. I mean, see everything differently and see anything differently. People, see people differently. See relationships, your relationships, other people's relationships differently. See the situation you're in differently. Work, see pain differently. See discomfort differently. See traffic differently. See weather differently. Right? See money differently, or your finances or your bills. Look at them differently. See your emotions differently, your thoughts, see your fears, your energy, see all of it differently. And why is this important? And how can this actually shift your life? Because no change is going to happen if you're in the middle of a problem, there's nothing that's going to change or shift if you cannot see it differently. There's no solution in the same energy that the problem is being seen or was created. So when we are willing to see things differently, like even be willing to question or be curious about whether you're even seeing things correctly, like maybe you're seeing everything all wrong. Our brain can shift when we're willing to see things differently, right? Our stories can shift and change. Our problems can shift and change. Like change can happen, solutions can happen when we shift and change our willingness to see things differently. Okay. So really what it is what when we are willing to see things differently, we're shifting from our left brain into our right brain. And we need all of our brain, but our left brain is that judgmental aspect of us, it's that controlling aspect. This is where anxiety comes from. When we're very much seeing things from the left brain perspective, very reactive, very fearful, we can be very stubborn. And so right, so we shift from the negativity of that left brain into a right brain way of seeing things. So the right brain is open, it is willing, it's creative, it can see things differently and see from a whole different perspective. The right brain is accepting, it's optimistic, it's really, honestly, it's peaceful. And then it's creative. When you can shift and see things differently, it sees things that we weren't able to see from that left brain perspective. So our brain, it can be our worst enemy or it can be our best friend. Okay. And that worst enemy aspect is when we're not willing to see anything differently. And again, anything, that person that cuts you off in traffic, or that person that annoys you at work, or that problem that just seems to get bigger and bigger, right? We get very stuck in the judgments of it. We get stuck, and you know where we get stuck? We get stuck in memories of the past. It's like, oh yeah, this has happened before, and this is what happens, and then we get this momentum of this fear, okay? Or maybe we don't even know, we're just reactive to everything, right? We need to be right, and we're so stuck in needing to be right. Okay, so that's when our brain becomes our worst enemy. So we all need a left brain. We do. That's how we function in this world. It keeps us getting to our appointments that we need, and gets us up, and gets us dressed in the morning. But if we live in that left brain, we live in a lot of fear. We live in the memories of the past. We live in fears of the future. Okay, so the right brain, when we access the right brain, we can shift from our brain being our worst enemy into our best friend. And that's because our right brain lives in the here and the now, the present moment. Okay? Our right brain is where we cultivate gratitude. So when we are willing to see things differently, that happens in the present moment. right? We can't see things differently if we're stuck in the past or if we're afraid of the future. We can only see things differently in the present moment. So that's what this week's intention. It's actually the next couple of weeks because this is a really important one because I'm away next week. So this week's intention, there's three things. Probably more than that, but be willing to see things differently. Everything, everyone differently, including yourself, including your discomforts, including your pain. Be willing to see everything differently. Okay. Be curious. And in that being curious, it's like, well, how could I see this differently? Maybe I'm seeing this all wrong, right? Be curious, but also be grateful. And that same time that you're being curious, be grateful. And another practice this next couple of weeks is appreciate the things that you take for granted. Granted, what are things that just are your everyday that you're taking for granted? Start to cultivate that gratitude there. And then this is that be creative, right? Be curious, be grateful, be creative. How could you see this differently? Be creative. Okay, be curious, be creative. That's how we access this right brain. Come into the present moment, be curious, be creative, be grateful. Now you're in right brain. Now you can see things differently. Okay, and in that presence, notice. So when you're in that present moment, notice when you have that tendency to get stuck. It's that fearful past memory is coming up, or that fear of the future, right? This is what I'm afraid is going to happen. And so that keeps us stuck in the problem. So start to notice things. Start to notice when you're stuck in the past or in the future, or notice when you're stuck in an emotion, right? And how do you get out of an emotion that you're stuck in? Again, be curious, be willing to see it differently. Start to notice, well, what's the meaning I'm attaching to this emotion that I'm having, right? So unless you're curious about it, unless you're willing to see it differently, you're just stuck in the emotion. You're stuck in the problem. You're stuck in the reactive, issue that's going on. You're stuck in being stubborn. Okay. So let's tap this in. Let's move our body, because when we move our body, that's one of the best ways to just tune in and come into the present moment. So always the same. Let's bounce. As we bounce, we can feel our body. Maybe we feel the discomforts in our body. Maybe we feel, pain, or maybe we just feel great, or like, oh, I love moving. It feels good. But just bounce. Okay. We're working through our whole body from our feet to our head, and just bounce it. Come into your body. Come home to your body. If you go, I don't want to go to my body. Well, because maybe it hurts a lot. Let's shake it out. Maybe you're looking at it wrong. Maybe you're looking at it from the eyes of a problem, or the eyes or the sensations of pain. What if you looked at it differently? Be willing to look at everything differently. Yourself, the situation, the pain. March it out. Stand nice and tall and get things moving. And pick up the leg, tap into the opposite side. Let's just get your energy moving in the right direction, right? Just even that is like, oh, can I see that differently? Because if we're like, really? Does this really get my energy working in the right direction? Well, what if you could see it differently? What if you really didn't know how powerful this movement could be? Be willing to see it differently. Hey, let's just tap in here. Tap in. Again, come into your body. This is how we come into the present moment. Come in. Feel your hands as you tap in. Let's go down that right leg. We go down the right leg, go down to your feet, come up. Just tap in everywhere. The back, the spine, the hips. And then let's go down that left leg, all the way down, and feel your hands as they tap into your body. Be here now. You're in this present moment. Okay, and then let's rub our hands together. Okay, and then let's tap underneath the eyes. So as you tap underneath the eyes, this is grounding. It grounds and anchors us. Feel your feet into the floor. Take a deep breath. It's going to say that be here now. Be here in this present moment. Everything's okay in this moment. Can I see things differently? Can I see my life differently? Can I see the situation differently? Can I see this person that bothers me the most differently? Can I look in the mirror and see my body different? Can I look at bills differently? Can I look at my bank account differently? Just take all aspects of your life or the things that bother you. Nice deep breath, inhale and let it go. And then I like to cross my arms, but as we tap in here, this is the K27 points. Again, this gets that energy moving in the right direction. We have 14 meridians in our body, and this gets the meridians all moving forward. So we get our energy moving in the right direction. If our energy is all over the place, and it is, we don't know if we're coming or going, we're stuck in worry, or we can't even move. We don't have that energy to even see things differently. So let's get our energy moving in the right direction. Okay, and then let's come into the thymus, heart chakra. This is the space of gratitude. Let's tap into that gratitude. Be grateful. Right, next couple of weeks, not only are you willing to see things differently and draw into curiosity and creativeness of seeing it differently, but you're drawing into gratitude. Be grateful for the things that you take for granted. Start there. Just look around you. All those things we take for granted, start to appreciate those. And then let's metabolize all of this. When we're willing to come into the present moment, when we're willing to see things differently, we can see when we get what I like to say hijacked by that left brain fears, the stubbornness. I need to be right, or I am right, and I'm not willing to see this person differently because I want to be right. And what if we just need to see things differently? Come more into the right brain of acceptance. Come into the right brain of the willingness, of the gratitude, of playfulness, of curiosity, of just being open. Okay, let's shake that out. Cross your energy from one shoulder to the opposite hip. Cross it over. Okay, so my friends, this week, next couple of weeks, I want you to be very open, very willing to see things, everything differently. Be curious, be grateful, tap into the creativity of your right brain, the present moment. That's what we want. Get out of the past, get out of those fears of the future. And when you're in the present moment, do the tap in to do it. Then you can notice when you get stuck in those patterns. All right. Have yourself the most amazing couple of weeks. Namaste, my friends. And this has the opportunity to shift everything for you. All right. Have a great day. Thank you.